Welcome back. I have some amazing news I wanted to share with you guys today. You may remember a couple months ago I was unfortunately let go from the job I had at the pharmacy, and I have received nothing but great comments from everyone, not only from you guys the viewers but also from friends and family, and I've received a lot of support. Things like, you're going to do great, you're going to find something, that kind of stuff, and I really appreciate that. But today I actually got some interesting news from unemployment. Now here in New York State, if you're on unemployment, you have to do certain things every week to, of course, get those benefits. You have to make sure you're putting your resume out there, actively looking for jobs in a nutshell. However, there's another program that they offer here in New York State for unemployment recipients, and it's called S.E.A.P, the Self-Employment Assistance Program. There's some stipulations to that. You have to watch a couple orientation videos. You have to have 13 weeks of unemployment available at least. You have to be able to, give the name of a business. You have to do all these different things to be able to even apply to it. And once you actually get accepted into it, instead of spending time going out and turning in resumes and trying to get a new job, you can spend that time actually establishing a business, getting an LLC started, getting a tax ID, all that good stuff that goes with the business. Well, of course, you know me being the entrepreneurial type, I went ahead and applied for it a couple weeks ago. Today, I just got an email back from unemployment that I've been accepted into that program, and I am tickled pink. That means that now I can actually take Pileggi Technical Services and turn it from being a thing that I did after work sometimes, maybe on a weekend, into something I'm doing as a full-time job, and that just blows my mind. I've been wanting to do a business for myself for a very long time, and now I can actually do it. Now, of course, I already got logos, I got a name, I got an idea, I got cards, I got signs for my truck. I already have all this stuff. I just don't have the LLC, I don't have a tax ID, I don't have anything like that. So it's always been a side venture, not anymore. It's amazing that New York State actually has something like that. I can't vouch for other states. I can't vouch for other countries, but it seems like New York wants you to start your own business. They want entrepreneurs. Of course, New York is one of the highest taxed states in the United States, so of course there's a whole thing that goes with that. And I know to a lot of people out there, this isn't oh great, you got a new business, and it's not just like overnight you're going to be a millionaire. And frankly, I don't really want to be a millionaire. I need to make a decent amount of money. As long as I was making at the end of the year pretty much what I made in the job before, even before that, I'd be fine. Of course, that's not my goal. My goal is to make pretty decent money. I want to be a community-oriented job. Right now, I'm just getting started, but eventually I want to be one of those people that can go out and help other people in the community, spread the wealth, I guess you could say, spread some knowledge. But that's way beyond anything I can get into right now. To just get into this program, there's things I have to get, like 20 hours of entrepreneurial training. I have to meet with a business counselor at least twice. There's some other little bits and pieces to it. I'll try to put something down in the description below for other people who may be interested in something like this. It's definitely a wonderful program. But there's all these tools are available to me here in the state, and most of it is free. The state will not provide me with any kind of funds. So for example, if it's going to cost me $500 to hire a lawyer to drum up a business thing or whatever, I have to pay for that. I won't get that from the state. I will, however, continue to collect unemployment in the meantime, but I have to show that I'm working towards doing this. There's benchmark reports that I'll have to fill out and submit by a certain date. There's a whole timeline to this. So that means I got to get cracking. And I have some very supportive people, and of course you guys, my fans, are also very supportive of me. But this is going to be a great thing for all of us in a way, because that's going to allow me to bring more repair things to this desk that I can share with you guys. And as a matter of fact, I've actually been approached by some people who've come across these videos and want to do business with me just because of that, from other states even. So it's really remarkable. I did actually start this channel back in 2015 to be a working portfolio, and it looks like it's working. But now it's a matter of local stuff. Get in with some businesses, get in with obviously the consumer market, and of course I'm going to have everything drummed up to exactly what I'm going to do. Right now I can call myself the Computers and Electronics Concierge Service. I'm basically the handyman of computers and electronics. I will pretty much, with some exceptions, work on anything. If it has any kind of electronic or computer part to it, I will work on it. That means I'm going to do cable installations for home networking and or office networking. I can do car stereo installations. I can do pretty much any of that kind of stuff where you kind of need somebody with half a brain who can go in there and assemble this stuff or put this stuff in, show you how to use it. I don't want to be one of those guys that just comes over and says, yep, here's your new TV, good luck. You know, I'm going to learn how to use it and show you how to use it too. And that's my philosophy. And you know, I don't want to turn people away because I don't know how to do something. I'm going to do my due diligence and learn how to actually fix it or do something with it first before I actually attempt to do a project. There's been plenty of things where I've maybe not had much knowledge about it, so I end up getting a service manual, reading through it. You know, I don't want to make it sound like it's easy, because nothing out there is easy, because if it was, everybody would be doing it. But there are some certain things out there. As long as you have the right tool and you can get the information on it, then you should be able to repair it, or at least have some guidance to what to do with it. I can say right off the bat, I don't have a lot of experience with Apple stuff. I know that's something I'm going to have to learn how to do. I know there's plenty of places, even here on YouTube, where I can learn. After all, I did learn a lot of stuff from other channels on YouTube. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before. My dad was an electrician for the longest time. He actually started off as a somebody in a maintenance facility at a pharmaceutical company, and just through natural progression they ended up moving him into being an apprentice electrician, and then he just kept moving up until he became a master electrician. He basically, you know, did a lot of stuff on the plant, and he ended up starting a little side electrical business. And he hardly ever advertised. If anything, it was all word of mouth, because he did great work. He charged a fair price. He showed up at the time he said he would show up. I know that's half the battle. How many people out there hire somebody and they say, I'll be there at 5 o'clock on a Friday night, and they never show up or never call you? So he never did that. He always showed up on time. If he had a problem, he called you to let you know. He was great for that kind of stuff. Well, I used to help him, and I did that. I remember the age of 9 years old, wiring up some guy's house for him, help him out, you know, install the outlets and switches and all that stuff. He gave me all that stuff while he ran the wires and did the panel. And so I've learned that from him. I've always had a keen intellect when it comes with working with tools in my hands, and just, you know, stuff here on the table or computers or anything like that. So I feel like I definitely have the knowledge. I definitely have the tools. I have the will to want to do this. I've always wanted to start a business, so I feel like I'm in the right camp. It's just a matter of the other parts of the logistical, getting the business started. That's basically it. Get it off the ground. Of course, there'll be other things like insurance. You know, I need all that stuff, and that's, of course, I want to do it right. I don't want to be a fly-by-night kind of guy. So that being said, if there's anybody out there who has a business already, hopefully maybe even New York State, that wants to give me some kind of advice, I would love to hear that. You know, I know there's so many different ways that I can spin this thing. I kind of want to keep it all encompassing. I want to keep it, like I said, a concierge service. I want to be that guy that comes over and fixes things that most people don't want to touch. I can say, without mentioning their name, there's a certain big box company, BB, certain big box company out there who has, we'll call it the nerd team. You bring them your computer and they go, oh, well, you know, it's too old. I don't want to work on that. It's too old. Or I've heard horror stories some places where you get there because the hard drive wasn't working and it was something stupid like a cable came loose, and they don't even want to give you the time of day to look at it. I've heard a lot of different stories through research over the years, and I don't want to be that guy. I'm not that guy. I'm honest. I charge a great price, and I don't want to rip people off. Plain and simple. And I want to do those jobs that most people do. Nah, I don't want to do that. Prime example is somebody has an old, like, let's say, guitar amplifier or an effects pedal or something like that out there, and you know, you can't just buy that new. You know, maybe it's a piece of vintage equipment, maybe it's an old jukebox, maybe it's something. I don't have all the answers, I don't have every little piece I need right now, but I want to work towards that. I want to have all that stuff here. And if I don't think I can do it, or maybe there's somebody out there I can possibly get that to. I know like Louis Rossman, I've come across his videos before. He's a guy down in New York City here. Got a great Apple business. He repairs stuff on the component level. He probably has equipment that I can't even dream of having. I'm not saying I'm going to do stuff right away like that, but you know what? For now, I might have to, you know, say, you know, that's beyond what I can do, but there's this guy here, and possibly, you know, through building relationships like that, somebody like that could say, you know, you're maybe out of my market, maybe I don't do PC stuff, here's this guy Chris. You know, there's networking involved, there's a whole slew of things that have to go on. And I know this kind of sounds like a jumble right now, but I have done plenty of research on this. I can tell you from my area alone, at least, there really isn't anybody else that does this kind of service, especially somebody who comes to you. That's the important thing. You don't just come to my place and drop your stuff off. I can come to you and pick it up and drop it off when I'm done, or work on it there. Like, there's not too many people who do that, and that's one of the reasons why I got the van I have. I'm a rolling toolbox. But anyway, keep that in mind. If anyone out there has any kind of insight they can give me or anything like that, I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for the awesome support. You guys are amazing. Don't forget to check out my other channel that I have. I should put it down over here. I'll put my thing to subscribe up here. I'll put a place for a video somewhere around here. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you posted as to what's going on. We'll see you later.